everyone, welcome back to SkyPi News. I know it's been a little while. I just moved, actually, into this person's basement over here. I think I'm pointing the right direction for that. Yeah. And so, however, this is still a good setup. But anyway, today on SkyPi, we are going to be talking, we've got a lot to cover that's happened over the last month. First off, Omaha, Nebraska got hit with some pretty devastating flooding on Saturday, and even some kids got, well, I mean, some young adults got trapped in an elevator as it was flooding, so we'll have to cover that. And there's been many tornado outbreaks over the last few days. I mean, Supercell Chaser in the chat here just asked me if I made it out to Northern Illinois. No! I so wish I had, but all the probabilities were just so low, like the day before. And, yes?
Should have been there,
Pi. And so I would have loved to. It's starting to feel like May out there because there's just been so much going on. I could have gotten 3 days of storm chasing in. So, and let's see what else we got here. And then fires. I'm sure you guys have all known. All you have to do is basically look outside to see what's happening with all the fires lately. And Greenville, California just got absolutely, like, practically wiped off the map. And so, and then I70 here in Colorado has been shut down for weeks because of flash flooding from that same burn scar that we talked about last week. And so there's been flooding in Turkey and Arizona, and there was even a hurricane. Okay, that was a long time ago, but out in the Atlantic.
A lot of catching up to do.
Yes. Anyway, but it's good to be back. I also, the wedding that I filmed out in Virginia was a success. I got great feedback on it. Might show you a clip or two at the end. We'll see about that. And then after I got back, then I was promptly moving here into this gal's basement. So,
pretty busy couple weeks. More like this gal has been moving you to my basement.
I mean,
because I'm the one with the truck. So
Yeah.
as people say, women with truck has gift of helps.
Right, yeah. Well, I very much appreciate it. So getting my couch and my mattress and this big honking huge desk here, which is like 6 feet wide, but I love it. Anyway, let's jump right into it with the Omaha, Nebraska flooding over here. So
You haven't shown me this video yet. You made me wait until this podcast.
Yeah. So pull up that Facebook post that I have over here, and we'll show you what this is looking like. So, because these people just they heard that there was tons of flooding that was going around outside, and so I've got an ad to watch here. But anyway, go ahead and react to it as you see it. Let me pull up my subscriptions here to show some of the thumbnails from the floods.
Yeah, so I'm kind of curious. There's kids like in looks like a flooded basement with water up to their necks, and I'm kind of curious the backstory here. Which you did send me an article.
Live Storm Chasers picked it up here. So here's just a still of what the whole flooding is looking like here. You guys can...
It's like flash flooding through Omaha?
Yeah. They just got absolutely dumped on. So the link that I posted a few seconds ago there is the Omaha, Nebraska flooding. So that's what it looked like. So these teenagers or young adults, they're like, oh, let's go down and check out the flooding. So they get in the elevator and they go down, and then this happens. They get, let's see if we can just pull up another still here of it. And this one is, there we go. There's one. So the water is up to their necks in this thing, and it just starts pouring into it. Let me send you guys this link here from Fox 19.
So they're in the elevator.
Yeah.
Door won't open, I'm assuming.
They just barely catch it. I've got their Facebook post here where they've set up a GoFundMe, and so he's just like chilling, and then all of a sudden water just starts pouring into the floor. And it just filled up quickly because, as I imagine, the elevator is still going down into the floodwaters. So, and I think this was another friend of them that was outside the elevator. He apparently lost all his stuff, and he set up a GoFundMe here. And which is
sounded like it was storage units or something that they lost stuff in the basement.
Yeah.
So, the article here says Tony Liu and his 3 friends were trapped, desperately calling for help. A friend frantically dialed 911. He said, "Hey, I need you to come help me. I'm stuck in an elevator. I might die if you don't get here soon." Apparently, they both worked at kicking the door while the friend on the other side helped pry it open.
Whoa.
Just nuts. That's just nuts. And it took them 10 minutes to do it, but they were finally successful.
They got themselves out. I didn't catch that.
That's what it sounds like. Yikes! Nope. They said Lou was 5'7", so that gives you a perspective where the water was, since it was up to his chin. Nope. I probably would never go in an elevator ever again.
Well, okay, you can go into an elevator. Just don't go into one when you're wanting to check out some flooding downstairs.
Oh, yeah. I guess that would be the smart reason to do it. People. Don't take an elevator to look at flooding.
Yeah, Lillian Swoboda said that she was in Omaha on the 7th and it was very scary. If any of you guys have, any pictures from anything that we're talking about, like the flooding in Omaha, feel free to send them to hikerhansen@gmail.com. And so might be able to post some of them. So I've got the radar pulled up of what this storm looked like as it was coming into Omaha. So Omaha being right here. Let me go and turn off roads and stuff. And so,
turn off roads.
Yeah. So just look at this. It just absolutely dumped on them. And this is the first time... Oh, darn it. I missed some radar files there. This is the first time that I've actually ever seen 3 flood warnings on top of each other. Because we've got this one right here. A tiny little flood warning. So flash flooding.
Almost hard to see. It's so little. Wow.
1 to 3 inches in that particular one.
Sheesh. Okay, so us in Colorado, we get 12 inches of rain a year, so 1 to 3 inches is very significant for us. It's probably normal for you all.
Flash flood damage threat considerable. Expected rainfall 3 to 4 inches, or 3 inches in 4 hours. Okay. There's so many green lines here, and 3 inches in 4 hours. So that's just nuts what happened over there. Just this storm just dumped on you guys over there. That was crazy. Anyway, so let's see. What do we have next here, Amber? Oh, yeah.
Coming up on major tornado outbreaks. Numerous tornado outbreaks, he said.
Yeah, numerous ones. So the first one we want to cover, this was on August 10th, so 2 days ago, was the Maine, Wisconsin tornado. And so it wasn't super catastrophic. I mean, it hit one house, but here someone actually got incredible footage of this tornado that was super up close, and it was coming right towards them. So go ahead and pull up the article, the Fox 11 article there, Amber. Actually, let's post this.
Actually, a pretty little article. There's a couple videos. It just says the National Weather Service in Green Bay reports a tornado touchdown in northeastern Wisconsin. You have some crazy names. I'm sorry, but you do. Outgamey County, Tuesday evening. Go ahead, make fun of me. We have grandparents in Wisconsin. You have some crazy names there. The tornado reportedly was on the ground between Nichols and Black Creek. A news viewer captured several photos and videos of the apparent funnel clouds and tornadoes. So at 6:14 p.m. is when they said a tornado was on the ground.
Yeah, so this video here was amazing. Only storm chasers dream of capturing a video like this, because this was captured by Antonio Hernandez, and this is just the epitome. This reminds me of all those scary, suspenseful movies where you kind of see the trees shaking, and you know there's the monsters coming, and then the monster just gets revealed into the full light as it comes forward. And so it's coming towards this guy, and it just this drill bit just emerges out of the tree. So I'm only scrubbing through it here, but take a look in the Facebook video that I just posted in the chat, because it is nuts, and I would be pretty freaked out. Now, since I kind of like can gauge like what tornadoes are doing, I would be comfortable filming this tornado if I was sure that it was passing by. But it gets relatively close. This is
just a lonely farmer, though, looking out on his porch.
Yeah, just filming it as it comes closer. I found his place on Google Earth here after finding the path of the tornado. So he's cool. Observing it from this way, and then it appears between the trees and the house. So it starts off being 300 meters away. That is...
Just comes across the field. The most impressive part about the video for me is that at one point you can't even tell. You can see the cloud coming down, but you can't really... You lose your perspective on how close it is because it stops sucking up any kind of debris.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's not water vapor for a bit of it. It's just like a cloud kind of spinning in front of him. And then all of a sudden, it just turns into this larger funnel that's really close to him before he turns the camera off. So I'm not sure if he took shelter at that point or what, but it's a pretty impressive.
Yeah, and this I guess it's scud, the cloud, the condensation is just rising so fast on this thing that it just looks so freaky. And that was that's just unbelievable footage here. So let's pull up the storm reports from today to just give an overview of everything. So we had a few from yesterday, and so this is the one tornado report that, if I can click properly, that up here in Wisconsin. Apparently there was one down here in Kansas, and there was one down here in Florida that Contrablast, he was texting me about it. He just sent his drone up to get, or he was just looking at a storm with some distant lightning, and then he just sees this tornado appear out of there. So if any of you guys want to check out his video, Contrablast on YouTube. And so, or I'm not sure if he has the video up yet. He just texted me a picture, so hopefully he'll post it soon. And
damage survey just says it was damage to a siding and roof of one single-family residence. So, and a car was flipped. His 6,500-pound trailer was moved 20 feet. So I guess that's pretty significant.
Do they have pictures on here? No, they don't. We'd have to pull up the article. The article has some pictures here of it. View all photos. If it'll load.
Pictures.
News sites are notoriously slow, so especially with all their ads and stuff. So we'll see if I can get this open here. But anyway, what are we moving on to next, Amber?
So next up, we have some flooding videos, I think, as long as we cover
let's cover those later on. Let's move on to the next stuff.
All right, we still have a Maine tornado, an Illinois outbreak. You want to cover those?
Yes,
right now?
Let's go through the Illinois outbreak the day before,
which was August 9th.
Yeah, so the day before.
I'm pulling up that article now as we speak.
Yep.
So you were. I was beginning to say I don't. Well, okay, I do remember this Illinois outbreak. I have an uncle that actually lives in northern Illinois, so we did pay attention.
Oh yes, we paid. There were tornado warnings everywhere.
Yep. So everywhere they were popping up. Billy texted me like halfway through the day and said, "Chicago's in trouble."
Yeah, fortunately it didn't quite get out to them. So anyway, I've got the radar pulled up here. Does the survey say anything about it?
Go ahead and keep talking. I'm pulling up the survey.
All right, so we've got the radar coming in here. So first off, the first few tornadoes appear up in Wisconsin up here. So we've got this one. It looks kind of messy for storm structure, although this is the Chicago radar, so it's a little bit farther away. And let's see. So we'll pull up a few storm reports. Funnel cloud. And initially speaking, so this was even before the tornado warning was released. Let's take a look at the base velocity. Oh yeah, super hard to see from this particular radar. I don't have the radar data downloaded from the other one. But anyway, finally by this third report, the fire department finally got the warning issued. And so, yeah, observed by a few other things. So that was the first tornado warning of the day in southern Wisconsin. And then...
Said it continued to have put down 7 tornadoes throughout the day. That's impressive.
Yeah, this is nuts. So, let's see. What else does this article, the survey, have to say here? So, and yeah, so there's just a few tornadoes here. A couple of EF0s, EFUs, EF1s. So,
rain wrap tornado near Beath Road and Meredith Road.
There's not too much information as of yet, since this just happened a few days ago. We've got some photos and videos of some of these here on the other side. Man, I would have loved to have seen some of these. These are nice, like, very visible. They're not the most photogenic tornadoes out there, but man, I would have loved to have seen them. Let me pull up some of the my subscription feed of all of these tornadoes at this point. So this is the one. A couple of storm chasers here got this barn that just got, it was a sheet metal barn that just got ripped to shreds. So this is Live Storms Media. Thanks. Let me send this link for you guys to look at, and you can scrub through it. And there were a couple of storm chasers that caught that. And let's see, what were some of the other... Man, this guy here, he was just following it along the road, and he was just going along, driving along, and it was just standing to the left of the road, and then eventually it just crosses the road. Let me just pull up a few stills from it, and he just followed it for so long, and it just kept going and going. He's got a 7-minute clip from his phone here, and it just keeps going.
Pi's dream to be able to be that close to that.
Yeah.
So at least to have the tornado go right along the road, so you can easily film it.
That was nice. Someone got some pretty good drone footage of it here as well. So, however, he kept his drone pretty far away. I'm like, well, come on, what are you afraid of? It's not like a tornado can destroy a drone or anything. I don't know. So that gives a nice aerial perspective, but he's kind of far away, so it's a bit hazy. So lots of tornadoes. Let me pull up where Sycamore is on Google Maps. Yeah. Sycamore, Illinois. Let's see what we got over here. And let's pull this up. And we've got this. So that was just west of Chicago. And so the radar here, let's pull up my second one. So the Sycamore, Chicago's up here. So it was one of these storms here. It's a little tough to tell which it was. Okay, it's probably this one with all the tons of tornado reports. You messaged me about this one, Amber. Wasn't it? No. Sorry. That was the Wisconsin tornado warnings.
It was Wisconsin yesterday.
Tornado on the ground.
Poor Wisconsin yesterday because we have other family near us. We have other family near the tornadoes that happened in Wisconsin yesterday. So I was like, poor Wisconsin. But you were the one who texted me about Illinois. Poor Illinois. We do that a lot. It is like, what? I haven't been paying attention to the radar. Whoa, look at that rotation.
Yeah, so some pretty solid rotation there. I believe that's the one that hits Sycamore, because these aren't really tight ones. And then there are also more down here. It's just, like, insane, like, how much these kept going. Tornado, brief tornado, then came right back up, and brief touchdown in field with no visible damage. So... we get any good velocity on that. There's another one right here. This is all nuts.
Supercell Chaser says, I was right on that tornado also. I live west of Sycamore, Illinois. So.
Oh, nice job, dude. I would have loved to have been out there with you. But man, these seem like pretty storm chaser friendly chases, because it seemed like, at least from what I can tell, based on how many people caught images here of it. And so let's see, where's the more photos?
After that, you also, let's see, we had a Maine tornado as well, but are you still working on Illinois?
Nope, we can move on.
Okay. So the Maine tornado, of that pulled up. I was confusing them. I thought this was still Wisconsin, but I guess this is Maine. So, well, okay, so maybe it pulled up a link from Wisconsin after all, because this is National Weather Service of Green Bay. That's not Maine. So I guess we're jumping to Wisconsin instead of Maine.
Whoopsie.
Unless you have Maine there, but so yeah, Green Bay actually had a couple days where there was some interesting weather there. Yesterday they had a tornado kind of north, I believe, of Green Bay. But
just
this
yesterday.
was a pretty this was actually on August 10th, the first tornado that I have.
Oh yeah, that's what that was the one with the drill bit tornado.
Oh, did you already talk about that one?
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep. So there were a few more. Yeah, the
Yeah.
one north of Green Bay. There it is yesterday, but not too much information is out about that because that just happened yesterday after all.
All right, so you can continue with the next topic then. I'm mumble-jumbling the topics.
Actually, I kind of want to go back to the Illinois one because I found some more interesting information on under the environment for this outbreak in Illinois. So it says vertical sounding at Lincoln, Illinois, taken at 7 p.m. on August 9th, indicating considerable instability. Effective storm relative helicity is 280 meters per second over a second squared. I think that's seconds. Sufficiently high to support. Oh yeah, because I try to look for like 100 for that. If we look at the mesoscale analysis, we can see what we've got for today. And just go into storm relative helicity here. So we got 200 up in Kansas and northern Nebraska. So that's usually pretty decent. So if you're not seeing that on a tornado day, that's not very great. Mixed layer CAPE from the SPC meso analysis at 5 p.m. Let's see, what am I looking at? Where's Illinois? So yeah, definitely CAPE into the 2000s. Plenty of CAPE. You really only need like 1,000 CAPE for that. And significant tornado parameter, I don't really look at that much, but values suggest an environment conducive for tornadic thunderstorms. Yeah, this is why I don't really look at it, because it looks like it's going to be in southern Illinois, but it was up here in northern Illinois. So, I mean...
It surprised you all.
It's,
Colton...
Yeah?
Colton Scout said I was a mile away from where the barn fell apart.
Oh, really?
So...
like, oh wait, which barn?
Scout, sorry, I pronounced it wrong. I think that was that one footage where
it just got ripped to shreds. So gotcha. Whew, that would keep me. Oh well, I assume you were storm chasing that, and that you don't live there, because that would have freaked me out.
I mean, a mile away. It's pretty close. And then Appleman has a question. Appleman3154 says, I don't know if you mentioned this already, but when is the next tornado chase?
Well, I mean, I'm thinking about tomorrow. There's a little 2% up in Colorado for tomorrow, so we'll see if we
get excited about our 2%. What can we say? Except I have to work, and I teach
my storm chasing budget. I only have like $15 in my storm chasing budget. So, but then again, I did just get paid from the wedding. I could go use that to go film.
At least drive a Prius, so you can go a lot on $15 of gas, maybe.
Not much. Not much. All right. Oh,
I guess
goodness.
gas prices are high.
Darn it! As soon as I started streaming, your video quality just tanks. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and let's move on to all the crazy fires out there, just because.
Yes.
They are just going nuts out there, because I've got a few. Ghost 16 images here from last month when the fires were just starting out here and out in California and Oregon. Like this one out here in Oregon just looks like a volcanic eruption is about to begin. Just look at that. And
that began in mid-July, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, a month ago.
And California started mid-July too, but yeah, that's just nuts. It's like multiple fires there too.
Yeah. So here's a higher view from Goes West, and I didn't quite get the full eruption, but you can see that. Oh, is this the Dixie Fire down here? That's a great segue. That looks like the Dixie Fire, because that thing just wiped Greenville off the map.
July 15th, July 18th.
Yeah, then that.
Yeah, so the interesting part about Dixie Fire is that it started within view of Paradise, California, where in 2018 they had that horrific fire burn their entire town. So they watched this new fire bloom up, and I guess 85 people were killed in the Paradise fire. That's just nuts. But
Yeah, there we go.
yeah, so the Oregon and California fires, we've had fires here in Colorado too that have been within 5 miles of my house, so we feel you. Like that's not fun.
Still have a very visible burn scar from here that you can see when the sun's hitting in the mornings.
Is that still Oregon you're showing there?
Nope, this is California. This is the reflectivity of it going through Greenville.
Yeah, the town of Greenville.
Mm-hmm.
I was just chatting with a coworker today about the entire town of Greenville being lost, and I, for some reason, looked it up on Google Maps today, and realized that, I just was curious how big it was, what was there in Greenville. And Billy, the first thing that caught my eye was that a Dollar General, which Pi, you've started to notice that Dollar Generals are like in every little town,
every small town. I see them everywhere.
Every small town, and they're always hit by tornadoes. It seems if a tornado's going to go through a town, Dollar General's going to get hit. So that was my first thing that caught my eye, was a Dollar General, and I noticed right under that it said temporarily closed. Dollar General is temporarily closed. But then you look at all the other businesses.
The post office is still open. Oh, okay. Well, some of this, temporarily closed. Riley's Jerky, temporarily closed. Greenville Southern Baptist Church, temporarily closed. Look at all of this. This is so sad.
Yeah, so we feel for you, Greenville. That's heart-wrenching. Like I have one of the articles here where people said we didn't just lose our homes in this fire, we lost our businesses too. So it's heart-wrenching. One lady said she got some valuables in her car, but other than that, they lost everything. So here in Colorado Springs, people lost houses for the most part. It really didn't rip through a commercial area, but when you lose an entire town like that, you're losing everything. You're losing where they work, where they live. It's just heart-wrenching. So it sounds like it also went through another town kind of near there, called Canyon Dam, I believe. And it's so sad. They said that it's up to 403,000 acres. That's just mind-boggling. So I think our Colorado, the ones here in Colorado Springs only got up to like 15,000 acres, and these are like 400,000 acres.
Man.
So, you're showing
these photos are just nuts.
Everything burning up.
Main Street just melted. That is just devastating. I'm so amazed that people were able to get photos, because I would have imagined that the fire department would have shooed everyone out of there. So,
well, and some of these fire departments actually have a photographer/videographer along with them, so they're recording training videos for future firefights.
Gotcha.
Because I've seen a couple of those from our Waldo Canyon fire here in Colorado Springs, and they're there wearing the outfits just like the firefighters, but filming how they take care of certain fires. So when you hear like a fire chief or a mayor or someone get on and say, we lost Greenville, like I just can't imagine that. Like just said, we lost entire town, and to be a person who lives there and hear that, like you hope that your house was left standing, but for them to say we lost Greenville, like there's not a part of Greenville or some of Greenville or 90% of Greenville. We just lost the entire thing of Greenville.
Oh, man.
So showing those roads all over.
They just shut down everything in that area.
It's all burned. Yeah. So when I first looked at Google Maps, the fire line went through Greenville, and then today the fire line's going way out east of Greenville. So the fire line is burned through the town and kept going east. It's super, super sad. So with the fires, many of us have experienced some residual effects of those fires many, many, many miles away.
Oh yeah, because like I'm sure there's probably barely a state in the country now that hasn't experienced the smoke. So fortunately, we've gotten a break these last few days, and all the smoke is off to the west, thanks to a nice cold front that came through, which is what triggered all those storms and whatnot. So just check this out, because when I was in Virginia last month, it got smoky even there as well. So, like, this is a picture that I took here of a very smoky sunset, and I was like asking my buddy Cole there, I was like, is that smoke? We're in Virginia. The fires are like 10 states away.
Yeah. Yeah, now that I have a new roommate here, he's in the basement, we've felt some of the smoke. Like, it's been smoky enough we can't see the mountains, which are 5 miles to our west. And so we've had to keep the air conditioning on 24/7 so we don't wake up coughing in the morning, because it's been blowing back down here towards Colorado as well. There's quite a few fires up in Canada that really are not hitting our news, and we're getting a lot of smoke from those Canadian fires also.
This was last month, but yeah.
We do have family up in Montana. I know we have family everywhere, right? We have our parents are up in northern Montana, so they've really been getting smoke. And anytime we complain about it to mom or dad, they're like, "Yeah, tell us about it." We've had it for months, and they're a lot closer to the fires than we are. But just this week, the smoke has been coming due east from California, just straight across Utah into Colorado.
Yeah,
and then it seems to sit in this valley. That's perfect.
Yeah, just a few days ago, I tried going chasing for lightning out east, and on my way back, the sun just got dimmer and dimmer and dimmer until it just until it just disappeared. It just straight up disappeared before it hit the horizon. So we had it bad here on just Saturday, I think it was. Yeah, Saturday. That's one.
Yeah, that particular day I was out doing yard work all day, and by the next morning I could feel look at that cute little sun that you have there.
That cute little sun. Yep.
Little sun. Felt it the next the AC on all week, even though it hasn't been terribly hot. So
yeah, it's been nuts. Let's see, that one's old.
For you, Greenville and Canyon Dam, that you have nothing left. Like, we can deal with a little smoke here. You have a lot more to deal with over there.
Yeah.
Shooey.
Yeah, so here in Colorado, the same burn scar that we covered last week through Glenwood Canyon also sent another one down onto I70. So go ahead and pull up that article, Amber, from KOAA and give it a read, because this was quite nasty, the storm. So very similar scenario.
They're actually saying that I-70 is about to open on Saturday if...
Wait, no, tell us why it closed. Read the headline.
Oh, I'm still opening it, so I'm using words while I open it.
Okay. Anyway.
So over 100 people were trapped on I-70 at Glenwood Canyon following multiple mudslides. So you hear about a mudslide, right? We think it's one mudslide. No, I think we heard there were 8 mudslides. Of course, I'll be scrolling through this article to see, but so you have a big portion over interstate that burns, and then every little runoff from that burn scar becomes a massive mudslide with boulders. And it has been closed down. I think they closed it down last Friday night. Today's Thursday, and they hope it's a full week later that they're able to remove this. So over 100 people were trapped following multiple mudslides through Glenwood Canyon overnight. This was last Friday. The closure was between certain roads. They get pretty specific here, but they said about 80 cars were stuck on I-70 between 2 different mudslides. So even if your car
they were stuck between them? I thought they were just jammed in a long line.
A man says his parents were headed Headed to Breckenridge from Durango when stuck on the highway on Thursday night. So I guess it was Thursday into Friday. The family was trapped in the mudslide overnight. So, Pi, you were saying that that's a good reason to have a bed in the back of your Prius. You can just sleep there. And I was thinking they would have to come and evacuate you out and wouldn't let you stay in the car. But maybe if you weren't stuck in the actual mud, they would let you stay there. So that would be a bummer. When asked if there were people stuck or trapped in the mudslide, a spokesperson said that was not correct. Pressed, they said that cars were stuck between the mudslides. That's interesting. I assumed they were stuck in the mud too.
Well, maybe a couple
damage on the
but...
road. Damage on the road where the mudslides happened. Now, some of the pictures, maybe you're showing these pictures while I'm reading.
Yeah,
there's like 2 layers to the interstate, so it like went over the top and then came down bottom and then ended up in the river below. So they've been working all week to get it cleared, and then they're expecting more rain this weekend, so we'll see. And after the Waldo, we talked about the Waldo Canyon fire here in Colorado Springs a lot. Like the whole 2 years afterwards, it was this. They actually put monitors up on the burn scar that if a ½ inch of rain fell, an alarm would sound and they would just shut down the highway. So for us, it was Highway 24. ½ inch of rain would shut it down. So in this case, I have a feeling they're going to have to do something along those lines. But I70, if you don't know this, is the main thoroughway in Colorado east to west.
Oh, yes.
So,
it definitely is.
Only other way around that's a safe way for semi-trucks and all is to really go up into Wyoming. And what is that, I-80 in Wyoming? And we've had some issues this week with our other, they said it's a 4-hour round trip to get around that. But they said that people are trying to do little tiny passes in Colorado, like Independence Pass, Cottonwood Pass. Now we're going camping next week, and we have to take Cottonwood Pass. They have had to call out the National Guard to monitor those passes, so semis and stuff are not trying to go on these itty-bitty little mountain passes. So we'll have to see next week if we have to go through a National Guard checkpoint or not. But, if you're driving that way, plan to go through Wyoming, see some extra sights maybe along the way.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. Man, I can't imagine just being stuck there. Like, well, okay, I have a bed in my Prius, so I mean, I'd be fine, but I can't imagine. It would be rough. I mean, if you get caught in a situation like that, just start posting videos about that, because the guy that was doing the GoFundMe earlier, he only had a $5,000 goal, and he's got 6,400, just because he's got this video of it. So just get it filmed, and because there's some generous people out there, and they love to help people out when they get when they can see your distress firsthand, like in a video like that.
Yeah, if you some of the storms, I think like Paradise is one of the examples, but some of the storms, people escape the fire, but then the flood comes later, and there's been stories in California where people's houses were taken out by floods because of the burn scar, even though their house was spared from the fire. So that's a super bad scenario. Oh, there's a car stuck.
Yeah, here, let me post these pictures for you guys to look at as well in the description. So, in the chat. And so looking at the radar here, I was showing it a few times. Look at this. It's just barely anything. It's just this one little storm that causes it. It's just that's just barely a sprinkle. Well, okay, the radar, let me go up and tilt, actually, come to think of it. Having a higher tilt, it might show a different story. No, higher in tilt. I thought the mountains might be blocking it a little bit, but anyway, let's see what the warning itself says here for the burn scar.
Warning,
yeah. Flash flood damage threat considerable. Let's see, about an inch an hour. So that's really amazing. I'm not sure how the National Weather Service is able to tell how much rain is falling from that. Maybe it's just that when it rains out in the plains, it just, the water gets absorbed so easily that we just don't know. I'm not aware with how much rain falls, but
Well, and after a fire like this, they actually say the sand can even turn to a glass layer. Like it melts in that temperature, and there's zero way for it to absorb into the ground at all. So it just immediately runs off. Yeah, I mean, this kind of shows that in Colorado we barely get any rain at all, and we have these major floods. Fires are an indicator by that. By the way, special shout out to our mom and dad who live in Montana. They are watching right now, and it is their 43rd anniversary. Happy anniversary, Mom and Dad! We love you, and you're having fun up in Glacier National Park without us, but had to throw that in there. So, anyway, yeah, poor I-70. Don't plan to travel I-70 anytime soon. I think this is going to be an ongoing scenario for a while. Thankfully, when we go skiing, we don't quite go that far west, so we shouldn't have to worry about that section of the interstate anytime soon. And thankfully, we're not going that direction to go camping either. So.
All right, so we've got a few other flooding stories, but we'll wrap up with those. First, I want to talk about the outbreak that was ongoing during our last episode of SkyPi, the July 14th outbreak. And this time it was just west of Illinois, over in Iowa, over here. And so this just pained me here. I'm live streaming. I just see warning after warning over there. And so
I didn't even remember this. You had to remind me that it was during our last. Yeah, that shows that you're the more storm season than I am.
Yeah, it was a month ago at this rate, and so many chasers got such great footage of that thing. So go ahead and pull up the damage survey. That's one nice thing about waiting this long, is the damage surveys are usually way more informative. So yeah, do you have that open there?
Go ahead and keep talking.
Okay.
Iowa tornado outbreak, right? On July 14th. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so supercells developed over portions of northern central Iowa. The afternoon of the 14th, right when we were live streaming, they confirmed at least 12 tornadoes to the National Weather Service in Des Moines, Iowa.
12 nice and
5 tornadoes
easy to chase
tornadoes. Why were you not on that chase? I don't remember why.
It was another one where it just wasn't forecasted until like the day of, and so.
To your credit, Iowa is a long ways away.
Yes, it is a long
ways
away.
You
don't have to remind me.
Can't even say this word. Preliminarily, there were 26 tornadoes across the state as of the morning of July 16th. This makes it the third most tornadoes in a single day since records began in 1980. I didn't realize they hadn't had records before then. That's almost as long as I've been alive. However, the total number of tornadoes from July 14th will change as further data is analyzed. So up to 26. How did I miss that it was that big of an outbreak?
I mean, I don't know. I was paying attention. There's 38 tornado reports from that day. So that's what was reported to them. But yeah.
Like it's on the damage survey, they showed some of the tracks of the tornadoes and how long they are, and you're showing some damage in video. Pictures there as well. Yeah, that was quite the day. You weren't there, Pi.
Yes, I am well aware that I wasn't there. So looking at the radar here, just start out with some nice storms. This is 2 o'clock our time, so 3 o'clock their time. So about 3 p.m., these storms start popping up, and then dink, 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 dink. Lots and lots of tornado reports, and they just keep going like crazy. And just like when they started up, they started fast over here. So that one's got a nice looking hook on it. So it originally was just radar indicated when it was warned, and then the tornado reports started coming through, relayed by Iowa State Patrol, and then considerable damage to house. So that's pretty nasty. And
yeah, on the damage survey, they actually show tornado number 6 on here. They show a little tiny town, and the tornado just goes on the south skirts of the town. It's like it totally missed the town altogether. It was just a little EF1, but I was like, whoo, it could have just a little.
Lake City wasn't
further.
so lucky. It looks like it just hit the, just went into the outsides of the town. But is that the one you were talking about?
And a lot of these were rural.
Yeah.
Looks like a lot were lived, but it's pretty impressive when you start to look.
Yeah.
Their tornado track. Oh yeah, you're showing them now.
Multi-vortex tornado over here. So that one has a nice hook on it. Definitely looks a little rainy up there. So, but they even warned this. They warned that part of the storm up there. Okay, just very briefly. It doesn't look like that's what it was. This the multi-vortex tornado that was just going through, wreaking all kinds of havoc. Highway tornado went up briefly, but touched back down and has debris. It is heading east, and
I don't want that coming towards me. Nope.
No. Hey, if you're in in a Prius, you're totally fine. But it's funny that this little thingy finally determined. Oh, hey, the storm's rotating. So man.
Likely, if you're in a Prius with a storm chaser, you're more likely to stay out of its way. Just being in a Prius isn't totally safe enough. So.
We even had a tornado reports up there. This is just nuts. How many there were. So let me pull up the some of the videos from that day. And so while we were streaming, a lot of these were being shot. So let's see. Vince here, he got some good footage of it. Let me post his in the thing, and so you can check out his video. And let's see, there was another one that was just a lot of these are just so nice to change, and they weren't moving that fast. And so here's that. Well, the thumbnail had the larger tornado. It's so tough to figure out who's who in all of these. But look at this. There were two tornadoes of or at least one funnel cloud there. What were you saying?
They all look the same on your little tiny thumbnails there. So, it's like, how do you tell?
Yeah, Melanie here, she got the multi-vortex tornado that we were talking about, and the preview's only showing me is that. So, man, I would have so loved to have been out there, and so, but anyway, it's still great to be able to cover this. Oh, there's even that drone footage. It looks like drone footage, right? I got to see this. Is this drone footage? And this definitely, yeah, I think
what the drone Pi has to check out for sure.
Yes, I gotta see. Yeah, it's drone footage, but it's so cropped in and it's so far away that it's so hazy. So,
YT says, Pi, are you planning any more drone videos?
Oh, of course.
Are you planning to make more drone videos?
Well, yeah, I haven't gotten my drone into a tornado yet, so I'm not gonna just stop. It'll probably have to wait until next year, though. So.
Eric says, remember the tornado over Pikes Peak? I remember that video.
Oh, of course I do. Yeah, there's no way I was forgetting that. That was the first... No, I think that was a cold air funnel, so that wouldn't make it up there. Okay.
Something about that intersection where we saw the Pikes Peak tornado. I was there a couple weeks ago, and I was still looking over at Pikes Peak, being like, the point coming down, is it another possible... You're at that same intersection you just expected to happen, but... Yep. You're laughing at me. I see you laughing at me. Yeah, the likelihood of that is next to none.
Alrighty, let's go through some
stories here.
No, there's a couple of them here. Oh yeah, let's cover the Turkey flooding. These are some quick rapid fire things. Like Turkey had some crazy flooding. I don't have an article pulled up, but look, this is what it looked like before, and this is what it looked like after. Like, this is a really wide waterway from the looks of it, and then it just shoots up like 10 to 20 feet. They just been inundated.
That wall has to be at least 8 feet, right? The wall looks like, it's hard to tell because it's so high up above, but at least 8 to 10 feet, it breaks that barrier and then floods everything. Yeah, there's like no wall left at all.
And then also back on July 14th, during that thing, there is Taylor Ray here on Facebook caught this flooding in Arizona. So why don't you guys take a look, and I wonder if you guys can figure out why I decided to share this video, because it's a very sad video. It's so sad.
This is in...
There, I posted it, so hopefully you guys will get the...
There's a very good reason why he posted it. Something might look familiar in there. Not quite familiar enough, but... yeah, so that's in Flagstaff. I was thinking that was originally in Miami, Arizona, where they had a recent fire and some major flash flooding. But this is Flagstaff, so I'm not sure what kind of burn scars around Flagstaff right now. It looks like a burn scar flash flood to me.
Yeah, she says in the description here that the reason we were so shocked by this flooding is the fact that our street was not in the anticipated heavy flood path. The city has been prepping nearby areas for 2 years after the museum fire struck in 2019. In a very short period of time, we were hit with 2.5 inches of rain, and after 2 years of drought, combined with a 40-year-old burn scar, massive amounts of dry debris came tumbling down Mount Eden. Above this exact street, Steve's, there was a culvert, albeit highly effective during most of the storms, dramatically overflowed after the debris was lodged, no longer allowing water to flow through. Another vehicle was also lodged in the culvert. Jeez. The water and debris then came up over the banks, veered right, and came hurling downhill. The Prius was parked on the street 2 houses above our own. It was aiming straight for our vehicle and boat, but luckily was pushed away as debris had caught under the car and created a current. The Prius then hit the white truck, got struck a short distance away. No one was injured during the incident.
Hopefully that Prius not have a license plate that said more pie, so you are...
Oh, goodness. Let me just scrub through it here.
You still have a Prius.
Yes. I've driven... there have been some floods that have caught me off guard when I was like, oh, shoot, I did not realize that this was water at all, because when the downpours are happening so much and you're in the lighting is so soft, sometimes you just can't see the water. So a good rule of thumb is that if you're seeing water in the ditches, to just be a little bit more observant when you're either turning off the road or going through. Yeah.
Don't drown.
Yeah.
Turn around. Don't drown.
Anyway, let's pull up the next one. So this was
you have some pretty crazy clips to end on here. I've seen these for the first time, really, too. I saw a glimpse of some.
Yeah, so Severe Weather Europe here has... This is what happens when a plane flies through a thunderstorm that's dropping hail. It looks like someone took a couple of shotguns to the front of it.
They try to avoid that?
Yeah, you would think. I mean, it makes a lot of sense to avoid thunderstorms for the up and down drafts, but for the hail, yeah, I mean, who knows? We have no idea what kind of extenuating circumstances maybe they were forced into it. So
it looks like someone took their BB gun to it. Oh, look at the windows. Even the windows are cracked. Yes.
Yeah, that would be really freaky to be the pilot, because hail will normally fall at terminal velocity, which is like 100, 125 miles an hour or something like that. But this thing going at 600 miles an hour.
Well, and I thought that was like bulletproof glass, but it looks like it
well,
made
I
a
mean,
dent.
any kind of glasses. Well, yeah, I think bullets normally go. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I doubt it. Maybe it's not bulletproof.
Even here in our Cheyenne Mountain Zoo in Colorado Springs, they had baseball-sized hail hit the zoo. I was there a couple months later, and you're talking thick glass, like 2-inch thick glass that had big cracks in it. They said, don't worry, this is from a recent hailstorm. You are still safe from the lions on the other side of this glass or whatever. So it's amazing what a baseball-sized hailstorm will go through. Is that how big they said that hail was?
Yeah, sure. That was totally baseballs. Yeah.
Baseball size.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember it.
So, okay, you got Google Earth up. What are we looking at here?
Oh, that's just Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. Anyway, let's move on to...
Oh, you were so on top of it.
With Hurricane Felicia. This was also a long time ago, last month, but it was just so pretty to look at on Go 16 that I just could not resist to share what this looked like over here. So there it is, just hanging out there in the Atlantic with his little Category 4 eye, just hanging out there, trying to make its way to Hawaii, and then it's just, you know, we got to say goodbye, Felicia, and before it ever got over there, but got a nice defined eye out there in the Atlantic.
As long as you weren't a boat out there underneath Felicia, you were good, good to go. So.
Yep. So nothing like I never, until I started like paying more attention to hurricanes, I never realized that there were hurricanes on like that side of the country, because always the ones in the Pacific make the news, because I always thought that any hurricanes that happen in this ocean are the, what are they called? The typhoons, but are those just the southern, those are just the southern hemisphere, right?
That's southern hemisphere. Yeah, there's still hurricanes out there. So, I mean, Hawaii occasionally gets hit, but there's a lot of water between Mexico and Hawaii there. So.
Yeah.
There's a couple out there today that are forming, so that's kind of cool. That side of the country.
What?
Plus, there's a nice little tropical storm forming headed towards Florida, so we might have more to report on that next time.
Wait, let me take a look at this over here. Drew Cohen.
Gotta zoom in. What's out there? Whee! I was just watching Go 6.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, there's a nice little swirl, like little.
There's some fun
swirls. Oh, there are some fun.
If you ever want entertainment, just watch Go 16 or Go 17, and you can.
Yeah, the College of DuPage has an awesome satellite here too, and I just love how many frames we get from. This is Goes West right now, and so that's really cool.
Well, and it puts everything into perspective for me. So if I really want to know where the smoke is coming from in a forest fire, if I really want to know if a tropical storm looks impressive yet, like back when Lebanon had that fertilizer explosion, like we were able to look on Go 16 for that, and it's a little poof on the radar. Poof. So here your news is like this big story, and then you realize the Earth is still a pretty big place out there, even with a big, massive hurricane the size of Texas rolling across country. Yeah, I could watch this stuff all day long.
Yeah. All right, so let's finish it off with this post that was making the rounds a few weeks ago, where this one here, I believe this was originally happened in Russia, and they're like, in case you're curious what a lightning strike does to a vehicle over here. So a lot of these
this is the one I glanced at. It hit his windshield.
Okay, well, so a lot
through the dashboard. I didn't look at these for the sake of
right.
Look at that thing.
Except I don't think it was lightning.
Really?
What do you think? Why do you think? Look at the photo here. Like it's the fourth one in that link.
Windshield, you have a melted dashboard.
Uh-huh.
A little small on my screen. I mean, it's not like something punctured the windshield. It definitely looks like it burned through the windshield.
Burned.
I don't know.
Yes, burned. There you go.
I don't know what would do that besides maybe a power line.
Like, have you ever heard of a lightning strike just literally melting plastic to the point of where it drips? Like, I know that it's made of, like, who knows how many... I know it's, like, hotter than the surface of the sun, but it's only for a fraction of a second. And so you would need a continuous discharge, at least... I mean, this is just me spouting off my opinion, so take that for what it's worth. And...
yeah, I mean, I've heard of holes being put in roofs and holes being put in floors, but it's convincing to me. I mean, this spider look on the windshield.
Have you ever seen lightning leave soot markings before?
On trees, sure, they burn up.
They burn, and they leave soot. Exactly.
I mean, what else could it be? That's what I'm saying.
This, to me, what it looks like. Now, lightning may have triggered this, but this, to me, looks very much like a fire started at this point down in here. Maybe there was an electrical fire. I mean, I may or may not have some clips of me, of smoke pouring up from some of the wiring connections that I've done in my car.
Yes,
So
yeah, that's the truth.
So
I guess I haven't thought about that.
Yeah.
Melting.
So I'm yes.
I was like, usually once a car starts on fire, there's no stopping it. So it's amazing that the fire's out at this point. But
yeah, so
the
hints that are letting me look. So flames would easily, if there was an electrical fire down here, then the flames would have come up here. They would have hit the windshield. They would have spread out. They would have burned. Oh yeah, see, look, it's even burned up here as well. Parts of this is down. So the soot is like in a perfect circle. So if the flames were going up, they would be hitting this part of the window, and the heat would cause the cracks to form from that location. So if this was lightning, I don't think that it would cause plastic to melt. I mean, we just looked at that lightning hitting the car last week, and the car, oh, I can't remember, but the car like had like very little damage to it. It may not have started. They may have had to had it towed. I couldn't quite remember. Were they able to drive it?
So it's the headline. Headline is car struck by lightning, but you're saying like Trunda Wolf said it could have been a cigarette lighter just starting the fire in general. Like maybe it's just an interior fire.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was saying that it was lightning, so lightning may have started the electrical fire, and because all that electricity could certainly short things out. Like if the connections are really close on a cigarette lighter, that could totally do it too. So yeah, I think what's the license plate on the windshield? So yeah, this to me just looks like a car fire. I'd be willing to bet that the lightning did not cause the plastic to melt or the soot to appear or the and plus, why would the lightning go through the window? You would think it would travel along the window because air is so insulated.
Blow the entire window out. You would think there'd be no window left. Now that you're really thinking about it,
I don't know.
Blow the window to pieces.
I mean, the one that we looked at last time didn't really have none of their windows blew out. So I don't know. I mean, I suppose it could.
But as it hit the body of the car versus if it were to hit the actual windshield, I think it would have exploded the entire windshield. So a couple people are saying, yeah, Ethan says an old tree was hit by lightning. Our old tree was hit by lightning. I had a tree just 4 houses away get struck, and I screamed. I didn't think I had it in me to scream just like a month ago. I tried to see the tree and the remnants of the lightning strike, but it was too tall. We couldn't tell. So, no thank you. And then I talked to another friend this week. They said their house has been struck by lightning twice.
Twice?
And now they have a lightning rod on their house. They said lightning came through the roof and went through the floor next to their toddler. That toddler is now a 12-year-old girl. She's like, yeah, quite the story. They just tell it like it's no big deal. That's Eastern Colorado Springs for you. But, ooh, another pretty GOES 16 satellite image up there.
Yeah, so anyway.
Is this past one?
Yeah, I'm opening up a new project right now. So I figured I would let you guys know on what is currently in the works now that I'm moved and now that I'm done with the wedding video. And so I am working on making my own time-lapse montage. So here's a couple of the time-lapses that I just edited. And oh, darn it, the render files aren't here. So I'm only going to be able to scrub through it.
You're meaty.
This was rendered, but oh no, there it is. These are 6K time lapses because they were exported from raw photos. But so we got some great lightning shots. This was back in 2019. So after this year, I finally have enough time lapses that I can feel confident about doing a whole time lapse montage. And zap. Let's see. Do I have the? Oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find it, but probably the time lapse that we saw this last year. Let's see if I don't think I have it exported. I'd have to pull it up from another video. But
just kidding.
Yeah, so that's going to take me a long time because see, look at all of these time lapses. These are all the folders since 2019, and a lot of these have like multiple time lapses in here. So if we go to the ones that I just edited so far, and see, look, this one has 4 different clips in it. So there's a ton to go through, and these things take forever because oftentimes I have to open up this program called LR Time Lapse, which is a super expensive, like, companion program to can I do screen center?
You just share too. You've burned through 16 terabytes.
There it is.
I think I have 8 terabytes. You've burned through like 16. You want to buy another 18 terabytes for all your footage?
Oh goodness, no, I don't need. I just need to redo my thing, but my NAS is running very slow. It's complaining about all of the full space on there. And I have another video that's in the works as well. There we go. 600 gigabytes free of 16 terabytes. And so
brief.
Yeah, you know, like, what can I say? Let me pull up. Oh, man, it's not. This is just going so slow. This is the problem. I need to figure out how to build a faster NAS because I have a pretty old processor and stuff in there. So,
Well, while he's pulling up files, if you have any questions for us, feel free to send them to hikerhanson@gmail.com or put them in the chat. Jay Bolton says it's 88 degrees right now with the heat index. Hopefully this storm cools things down. It's starting to be stormy there. We had a storm coming towards us while we were getting ready to go live tonight, and I was getting all excited. It was actually moving southwest towards us, and then it fizzled.
It just straight up died. It was severe earlier. It's just dead. So, I mean, hey, I thought that the HER said that it wasn't going to make its way. Man, look at all of these flood warnings.
The garden is super happy.
It is definitely monsoon season over here. And
Vegas, we're not getting the monsoon right here. Up here right now. We got a little in July, but we've been dry. And hot, but I guess we can't complain about hot. Arizona knows hot. Vegas knows hot.
Mm-hmm. Yep, indeed. All right, so which video was it? Let's see. East Colorado chases. So this is the next video that will be coming out. You know, it'll be like a full storm chasing video. And so this was a really interesting day because I was like getting so close to this cool, super really photogenic storm over here. Ooh, is it? Ooh, let me render out this time lapse so I can show you guys what it looks like. And
rendering.
Yes, it's sped up 15 times, so it's gonna take a second once it decides to figure out its life. And
rendering is the bane of all of our existence if you're a video editor. I've spent many of the last 2 weeks rendering video out.
Yeah, so it's like, it's cranking away. It's trying. It's thinking about its life, but who knows? Maybe I won't be able to show you guys any much more than that. Excuse me.
All cloud you have there, though. Super pretty.
Yep. All right, well, unless this... there it goes. Come on. Oh, that's going to take way too long. Forget that.
Just going to have to watch for your final video. It's a teaser for the final product.
And so... And I'm renting a home office from Sister Pie upstairs, so I need to really getting these videos out here so I can pay the double rent. Yep, there's that tornado, that stinker. I could have totally made it, but I just did not expect it to drop a tornado that quickly. I could have gotten way closer to it.
From Sister Pie is actually pretty reasonable, so don't listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's like it's dropping.
No, actually, for Colorado Springs, it really is. But so. Alrighty, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the live stream. We should be back next. Except we're going camping next week. That might be kind of tough.
Yeah, we can do it before camping though.
The camping?
Be on Wednesday.
All right.
We are going camping. We haven't been in a year, so it's about time. Though, whenever we go camping, there's some tornado somewhere in the state, and Pie is like, "Why'd you make me go camping? I need to get after that tornado." So hopefully, the tornado stay long away. Far away from. I think the last time we came back from this particular campsite, there were tornadoes in northeastern Colorado. So they were even within reach, except with that drive, it would have been an 8-hour drive from where we were. So anyway, it's August. There should be nothing, right?
Whoopsie. I haven't been filling the whole screen here. Whoops. No, come on. Full screen. This thing's...
It's okay.
I've broken
Time
Discord.
The East Coast people are like going on midnight.
Yeah. Okay.
It's time to wish them good night. We're still, it's the night's young here in Colorado.
Yeah. Sure.
Pacific Coast, you have a really young night, so.
And so Ethan asked, when's the next chase video? So if I really buckle down, I could crank out the rest of that video out in a week. So hopefully before the camping trip, but I won't guarantee it. I'm starting to get back into some better habits now the storm chasing season's over, and now that I've moved and I'm settling in. So I'm working towards getting in the habit of getting 2 videos out per month. So we'll see how that goes.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yes, and to his credit, they take a long time to edit, so.
Well, they do.
You can do it.
I mean, when I buckle down and I, like, see the finish line and get it working, but anyway. All right, well, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you guys next time on SkyPi News.
SkyPi News!